which is a high tone. They all have marks, and you would see them and how to use them. You can write any name using the Yoruba alphabets, but you have to learn how each of them sounds. Most of the verbs, any action you take in Yoruba, will most likely start with a consonant. So the rest and the second unequal half of the alphabet are consonants. And in Yoruba, we call them consonanti. Consonanti. Kidori. Consonanti. Aha. Consonanti. Most of the verbs or the action words that you would use will most likely start with the vowels.
Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn tára rẹ̀ sì yá gágá. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn tára rẹ̀ sì yá gágá. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn kó pa àtẹ́wọ́. Bínú rẹ̀ bá dùn tára rẹ̀ sì yá gágá. You didn't know what I said, but at least something told you that that song must be, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it. Let me try this again. And if you know it, tell me. Àwa yóò borí. Àwa yóò borí. Àwa yóò borí lónìí. Tọkàntọkàn la fi gbàgbọ́ pé àwa yóò borí lónìí. Does anybody know that? You want to sing your own? Come on, sing, let me hear it.
We shall overcome.
Come on.
We shall overcome.
One more time.
We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart,
We do believe we shall overcome someday. The last one. The last one. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí tòní. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Muso, Muso, Muso. Muso. So who knows that? Okay, sing your own and sing my own. Let's have a competition. In whatever language you can sing yours, let's sing it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí tòní. Oh no, everybody you know what? You do not tell any African story in a condition in which people are not participating. It is just impossible.
Right.
You cannot sit there and watch me. I'm not a spectacle. We are here to co-create, and if you don't, the story will not come out. All I'm doing is I am going to the household of stories to wake it up so that it can come out and you can be a part of it. But what I'm saying is there are people sitting down. If you need to eat, swallow it quickly. The story, and I tell you this, and I don't want it to happen to you. You see this drum? As big as this drum is, if I start to tell my story and you do not participate, by 12 midnight exactly, your head will be as big as this drum. It is not a threat. That you have agreed to come through the door, if I knock in the household of stories, and you sit down, you do not participate, write it down. At exactly 12 midnight, your head will be as big as this drum. I will be the only one who can sing the song we sing to bring your head back to shape. But I might not be around then. I might not be around, and I cannot promise you that everybody whose head is as big as this drum will have my attention. I can only do it once. So if you know you do not want your head to be as big as this drum, you better open your mouth and participate. Come on. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí, òkú ọjọ́. Sing it in any language you know. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí tòní, òkú ọjọ́ ìbí, òkú ọjọ́. No. Happy birthday to you. If you do not participate, I have warned you. Sing it in any language you know, but sing it. Any language. Òkú ọjọ́ ìbí, òkú ọjọ́ ìbí, òkú ọjọ́ ìbí tòní, òkú ọjọ́ ìbí. Muso. Hip hip hip. Hooray! Muso. This night, the poet speaks. This night and many nights, not to break hearts, but to shatter the wall of silence that envelopes our voice boxes and stamps out our rights as tyrants' plaything. I, Koliade, the son of Oladide Odutola, I speak as one who borrows a collective license to sow with liberty the heavy words that weigh the head but lightens the legs and frees the tongue. On fields far from home and homes near the reeds, I, the son of Modupe Odutola, speak beyond the dean of race on race, where flowers of hate adorn the pathway to the morgue, and tailors reap human parts like pieces of yarn. I, the junior brother of Adenike Odutola, I speak to the road that leads into our minds and mind the lead that obstructs the lead of peace. I, the senior brother of Adetokunbo Odutola, I speak beyond the last dot on which rests many a thought. Let my voice curse the rise of our race from waste. Let our thought stop the rot that's been our lot. What is our legacy? Our hope for survival and strength. For how long shall we walk before we see the gain? For how long? For how long before we see the end of a rainbow? For how long before we see the end of a rainbow? We will speak to the weakest and rouse the conscience of the wicked, that our race will bear no shame of blackened past. Let Africa rise like the light of dawn. It will not take very long, and I will not wait for dawn to appear before I get into the universe of stories. But I tell you, in the family of stories there are songs, and in the family of songs there are stories. The story I'm about to tell you was told to me by my father, and my father told his father told him the story. My father's father also told his own children, and it has been a family property for years and years and generations. I did not come here by myself. I have come with the luggage and the presence of those that have gone beyond. This represents the father that has passed, his inheritance that he left in material things. He left also words that I share with you, and I have brought to you from where I come from. This is a story that rolls and tumbles, and rolls and gathers, and finally will land on our heads. I have come with a journey of stories. When you hear the story, you might hear the song. And when you hear the story, search for the song. Long, long ago, when I say time, 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 you say time. Time, time, time. Time. Time, time, time. There lived a woman. He lived in the household of his husband. The woman worked so hard. She would wake up in the morning and sweep the floor and wash the clothes and take care of everything that needs to be taken care of in the household. He was not like the man here who goes out and is taking the child. He was different. He would not take a child to anywhere. He was the kind of man you call the LB, the lazy bone. But the woman worked so hard. The food you can smell was as a result of what she cooked, and you can smell it. When you're gone, she's going to clear all the things and wash all the plates. This is the woman that I want to bring to you as a story. But the husband, an LB, what did I say the husband is?
Lazy bone.
A lazy bone. He would wake up in the morning and yawn and yarn and go and ah. He did little or nothing. But this woman walked and walked and walked so hard. Is there anybody here who has never seen such a woman before? Have you ever seen a woman like that before? Your mother, have you ever seen a woman like that before? Oh, your mom, have you seen a woman like that? Oh, everybody's mother. You've all seen such a woman. And you can describe them. If I give you a pen, you probably will draw them clearly, and some of them fat, some slim, some tall. But they work so hard from morning till night. And some even did extra work after night. So it is the story of this man and this woman that I brought to you today as a gift. And like I said, I have no hand in it. If your head swells as big as a drum because you did not listen. If you talk while I'm talking and our stories clash, the clash will be seen at 12 midnight in your head and it will be as big. If you want to try it, you can try it. It is not something that is a secret. It is only at 12 midnight your head begins to grow and be, I would not be there. But let me go back to the story and tell you exactly what it was. So one day, this hard-working woman, can you imagine? This hard-working woman who cleaned, who washed, who would sweep, do everything. She fell ill. She fell ill one day. And there she was, lying on the bed, on the mat. They had no bed. She was lying on the mat, rolling and turning. And the husband asked, "What is wrong with you?" And she turned again. "Where hurts you?" And she let out a big moan. "Oh, what is wrong?" He got no response except, he had never seen a thing like that before. He did not know what to do. Is there anybody here who can help? What do you think he should do? Green cap, yes. What do you think this man should do? The woman is sick. Do what? Oh, the hospital. Okay. In this village, there are no hospitals. So your suggestions cannot help. Hey, you're looking at me. Who should take who to the hospital? The man should take the woman. He's a lazy man. Oh, somebody can help here. What do you think this man can do?
He can carry his wife to a doctor.
Oh, he's a lazy bone.
Well, he has to get strong.
He has to get, can anybody let me use your phone so I can contact him to say, Colette says to get up and get your ass right. Get up! He's a lazy bone, he can't even take the phone. Do you know what he can do?
You should at least hold her.
Okay. She says you should hold her. He's a lazy bone, he can't even hold her. Yes, what can he do?
Well, perhaps if he wasn't so lazy, he could care for her the same way she cared for him, and he could see what she goes through every single day. But I doubt he'd do that because he's a lazy bone.
Oh, we are all coming back to the same point. Yes, anybody here, what can he do? Please.
Pray.
Pray. Pray to Allah, Muhammad. They don't pray in that village. Anybody can. Look, the story has arrived here. You need to help us move it. Let's move this story. Well, yes, thank you, Mother. What do you think he should do?
If he's not going to
Call the witch doctor.
Lazy bone, you got to go get somebody.
Good.
Get the daughter, get the mother. Somebody else lives around. Another woman is going to help.
Just get somebody. And it was that. As soon as I heard her say, get somebody, I transferred that message straight. And he decided that he would go to the wise old man. This lazy bone decided to do something and approach the wise old man. Who is he going to approach? Wise old man. Who is he going to approach?
Wise old man.
The wise old man lived many, many miles away. The wise old man, most of them do not live amongst us. They seclude themselves and live far away in the hills. Lazybone has to work and find his way to where the wise old man lives. And so the journey started. At first, he thought he was going to take with him his drum. That was the first thing that came to his mind, that I probably take my drum. A signal that could wake even the gods that were asleep up. The drum was the heartbeat of ancestors that had gone. And Lazybone felt the only way he could do it, to shorten the journey, to smoothen the journey. And he started. Kom, kom, kolo, kom, kom, kom. Continued on and on and on and walked miles. And finally, something happened. Does anybody know what happened? Do you know what happened? He didn't find the wise old man? He got lost. What happened?
He got lost?
He got lost. He got lost. He got lost in the sound of his own drum. Be very careful, those of you students who think you can multitask. While the teacher is talking, you think you can also do a quick text message. You might get lost. This man was going there. He ended up there. And that became a message to all of us. But when he got there, the trees he found there started to speak to him. You have missed the way. You have missed your way. You have missed your way. You have missed your way. Lazybone looked right, left. How do I get myself out of this mess? My wife is dying at home. Here I am, I've lost my way. The first thing he did was what I did. He threw the drums away. And the stick, he let go of. And started again to retrace his steps, to read the stars, to read his memory of how his father had taught him. And before the night actually wore its new clothes, he arrived in front of a wise old man. And as soon as he came, the wise old man did not lift his head. He said nothing. He welcomed him and told him instead what he had come from. Does anybody know what the wise old man said to him? can you tell me what you think? Yes. What did the wise old man say? He never lifted his head up. And he started to talk to his visitor. What do you think he said?
Make her some soup.
Make her some soup. What do you think he said?
Stop being a lazy bum.
Stop being a lazy bum. You see, only men talked. Only the men knew what the wise old man said. No woman said anything. But what he really said was, you have come with a burden, and I want you to cast your burden, and I will tell you what the solution will be. But wait there and start to think of your wife and all the good times you've had. Think of all the good things she's done, that she has done for you. And there he sat and started to think. The wise old man got off and went right into his chambers and prepared a meal with 7 different ingredients. It tasted so good. Smells exactly like what you just ate. It smells so nice. And he put it in a big calabash and gave to him with instructions. Take this to your wife. Do not eat it. Do not lick it. I said, take it to your wife. What did the old man say?
Take it to your wife.
And do not eat.
Do not eat it yourself.
Simple instruction. Simple instruction. Take this food to your wife. Do not eat it. Do not lick it. And so the journey back home started. And he started to walk. He has lost his drum. No singing this time. He concentrated on what he was carrying with him and went on and was going and going and going. It was just 7 miles before he got home. I don't know whether there are women here who know that there is another voice that talks to men. And this voice entered into discussion with him. What did he say? He said,
Taste it.
yes. He didn't say you should not taste it. He said, do not eat it. And he started what scholars do, all the philosophical discussion about what it means to taste and what it means to eat. Got into it. According to Mr. XYZ, eating and all of that was the kind of discussion he started to have with himself. And he sat there with the calabash. The wise old man did not say, I should not smell it. So he opened it and smelled it. And the thing that always in what you're told never to do came out of it and waved at him. You are only the one here, nobody will know. Delve into it. And so, just one finger went into it. 7 seconds. And it came out. And right onto his tongue. Ah! Why would the wise old man say to me not to eat this? 2 fingers. Before you knew it, everything went into it. Mwah. When I do like this, you say, mwah. Can I hear it? Mwah. 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 And then, mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah. 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 And he licked everything. Bam! Nothing else was left of it. And he covered it. And he strengthened himself like all men do. Yes? You know how these things happen? Your wife has told you not to do that thing and you have done it. Okay? Yes? Right? You see that thing men do? They just like that? Yeah. Okay? Yes? Yeah? And so he started the journey. What do you think happened to the wife? She died. What do you think happened to the woman? She felt more ill. What do you think happened?
She felt really ill and glared at her husband when she figured it all out.
She died, yeah. She died, she felt ill. What do you think happened?
I think she got well.
You think she got well? Okay, so we have two camps here. Those who think the woman died, and those who think the woman got stronger.
Yes.
All right. So he started to go. And as soon as he got to the front of the house, he stumbled on his left leg. He said something bad must have happened. But I don't know what it is. So he went into the bedroom. The woman was nowhere to be found. He went to the bathroom. There was nobody there. As he was going to the backyard, he heard the sound of a woman. And the smell of this woman told him that she was well. At the time he was eating the food, the woman was getting well. All her body had gotten stronger, and she resumed what women love to do. To clean the place, to wash the clothes, to take care of the kitchen, and prepare the best meal for Lazy Bone. Because he knew that Lazy Bone had walked all that way on her behalf. And as soon as Lazy Bones got there, with that look on his face, he gave the empty calabash to the wife. Says, the wise old man says to give this to you. He says, he said, he couldn't even finish it, and he left for his room. As soon as he left for the room, the woman went, believing there was something there, opened it. And what do you think she found? Yeah, nothing. You see, nothing is the result of disobedience. You end up with what?
Nothing.
When you disobey, you end up with what?
Nothing.
When you're told to do something and you don't do it, during Christmas, Santa Claus will give you what? When you don't do your assignments at school, the professor will give you what?
Nothing.
Yeah, zero is nothing. And so, as soon as he turned his back, his cheeks started to grow big. His head started to grow as big as the drum, like I told you. His stomach went big. His legs as big as car tires. He couldn't lift. Everything got so big. He got bloated up like somebody was pumping air into him. And the wife saw him. She burst out crying. What is it? What is wrong? What can I do to help? And finally, he heard that voice. Go back to the wise old man. And so he started to go back to the wise old man. And as he was going, he sang this song, which a lot of people sing. Your response is saying, I ward off evil, but it's in Yoruba, right? So if you don't say it, what happened to him might happen to you in your dream. So you would say alugbere. What did I say? Alugbere. One more time. Alugbere. Say it again. Alugbere. Alugbere is you're warding off whatever he's saying. It's like, not me. So, when I sing, you would say alugbere. Are you ready? Babalawo mo wa bẹ̀bẹ̀ alugbere. Babalawo mo wa bẹ̀bẹ̀ alugbere. Ògùn tó ṣe fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan alugbere. Ó ní màmá fọwọ́ kẹnu alugbere. Ó ní màmá fẹsẹ̀ kẹnu alugbere. Ògùn tó ṣe fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan alugbere. Babaláwo mo wá bẹ̀bẹ̀ alugbere. Ògùn tó ṣe fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan alugbere. Ó ní màmá fọwọ́ kẹnu alugbere. Ó ní màmá fẹsẹ̀ kẹnu alugbere. Ògùn tó ṣe fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan alugbere. He sang, and the winds and the leaves and all would say alugbere on his behalf. And kept on until he got to the wise old man. This time, the wise old man was not sitting. He was standing just like the lady is standing. Just like that. And the wise old man did exactly what they did. Went into his room and went outside and left him there. It was at that point the story ended, the story stopped. If only those two ladies had not left. If you can find them, you find the end of the story. Wow. If anybody here can find those two ladies that left, they took away the end of the story with them. So it is now left for all of you to meet as groups, to meet as friends, and decide, how did the story end? What happened to Lazy Bones? What did the wise old man say? Trust me, I am going in search of those two ladies to demand for the end of the story from them. But for those of you who don't know them and you don't have their phone, you better meet as friends to decide how you think the story ended. On my part, I'm going to abandon you all here. Find the way to end the story yourself.
Why do you think